Hey guys, my name is Elin, and we are starting our next video in answering the question is how do we stay connected in our marriage? And so in this video, we're going to be talking about appreciation. But if you haven't had a chance to watch the first video, we really cover some foundational things that we need to understand about marriage. And so it's really important that before you kind of start with the appreciation and the other videos that are coming, that you take a moment and watch that video first. All right, so we're going to talk a little bit about appreciation and what that looks like and why it's so important in our marriages. There was a study that Cornell University conducted where they took 1,500 people who were ages 65 and older and asked them to look back over their life and to share what were some of their biggest regrets. And among the top regrets that people had was that they didn't express gratitude and appreciation for the people they loved most in their life. And interestingly, the men in the study expressed that one of their top regrets was that they did not express their gratitude to their wives. Listen, words are so very important. And we can express our love for our spouse, and anyone for that matter, through lots of different ways. We can send nice text messages, we can write cards, we can send flowers, we can have physical touch, we can express in a number of ways our appreciation for our spouse. But there's something powerful about the spoken word. I mean, just look at the beginning of time. Our Creator created all of creation by the power of his words. And we, as sons and daughters of God, were created in his image, which means that our words are powerful too. And there's no better place to exercise the power of our words for good than in our homes, in our marriages, with each other. I want to share a couple of verses from Proverbs with you that kind of just really take this thought and make it a lot clearer than I possibly could. In Proverbs chapter 16, verse 24, it says, "Kind words are like honey, sweet to the soul and healthy for the body." In Proverbs 18:4, it says a person's words can be life-giving water. And in verse 20, chapter 18, it says, "Words satisfy the soul as food satisfies the stomach. The right words on a person's lips bring satisfaction." When you speak words of appreciation to your spouse, it is not only beneficial to your spouse, but to you and to your children who are watching and learning what love and what marriage looks like and how do we interact and show love and sacrifice and how do we serve one another. They're looking to you for what that looks like. And so it's beneficial to your entire family and honestly to your children's future marriages and the way they raise their children. And obviously to our community and to the watching world, all the people who are looking at our marriages as Christians, for what is it that's different about them that I need and that I want for my own marriage. We're here to set an example as Christians. Now, the Bible conveys the importance of thankfulness and gratitude throughout. And I know that God has lots of reasons that he wants us to be grateful. But there have been study after study after study that has conveyed the results of people who are grateful, who live a life of appreciation. I want to read these to you. Some of the ways that we are benefited from gratitude is that gratitude helps us reduce depression, improve self-esteem, increase energy, develop a strong immune system. Expressing gratitude helps to decrease blood pressure. It increases sleep quality. It reduces negative stress. When we express gratitude, it helps us to eat healthier. It increases our productivity and our job performance. It leads to promotions at work. It benefits and strengthens our friendships. Being grateful makes us more likable. It reduces negative emotions like jealousy and hatred and anger, and it increases positive emotions like love and empathy. And honestly, I would add to this that when we express gratitude, it actually increases the amount of intimacy, physical intimacy, emotional intimacy, all of that intimacy in our marriage encompasses. It actually increases that. So I know that after I say that, everybody's gonna be like, I'm gonna be thanking you left and right. This is gonna be good for our marriage. Okay, so all of these benefits that we experience when we are grateful people aren't just beneficial, obviously, to us as individuals, but ultimately to our spouses and our families. One of the things that Tab and I did when we first started meeting together, over 10 years ago, around that dinner table in our dining room, we started off by having a conversation about appreciation. And this was really important because, like I said earlier, Tab and I were in a season where we just felt really depleted. And when you feel like you aren't getting what you need, it's really hard to want to give someone what they need. It's just kind of the nature of the selfish human being. And that's just the reality of it. And you may be in a place right now in your relationship where things are going great and showing appreciation comes naturally. Or you may be where Tab and I were and it's a little bit more difficult. But I'll tell you, regardless of what season of life your marriage is in, it is important that we practice appreciating each other every single day. And so here's what we're going to do. And this is something that Tab and I did. We sat across the table from each other and we took turns saying what we appreciated about the other person. Now, for some of you, this is going to come super naturally. And for others, you know what? It's just going to be uncomfortable. And that's okay. You're in a safe place. Your marriage is the place that you chose to be in, with your person. That's your person that you're sitting beside right now. And there's no better place than with each other to be vulnerable and to share what you appreciate about that person. And so what we're going to do is we're actually going to have just a few moments. We're going to have on the screen some prompts that you can use. You don't have to, but they're helpful if in case you need something to get you going. We're going to have some prompts. I'm going to read through them real quickly so that you know what they are. But we'll have those on the screen. And we are going to kind of cut out for 1 minute. And in that first minute, husbands, I want you to take the lead and I want you to look at your wives and until I come back on that screen, I want you to look at her and tell her everything you appreciate about her in that next minute. And you can start with words like, what I appreciate about you is, or you can say some of the things that I love about you are, and fill in the blank, or you can just simply say thank you for, and fill in the blank with that. You can also say it really means or meant a lot to me when you, and then fill in the blank. But you can also say things like you're so gifted at, or you're talented at, or you're really good at, and then fill in the blank with that. The bottom line is just speak naturally and from your heart. This isn't something that is checking off a box. You are looking at your wife, and she really needs to hear what you think about her. She really needs to hear that you appreciate her, that you love her, and she needs to know specifically what it is that you appreciate about her. That's what she needs. And so for this next minute, I want you to look at your wife. I keep saying wives. Hopefully there's not many wives there. Look at your wife and tell her what you appreciate about her. And in just a minute, I'll come back and we'll switch. And ladies, you'll have your turn to appreciate your husbands. Go ahead and get started. Oh, and one more thing, and this is really important, I almost forgot it, is in this moment, be a good giver and be a good receiver. In other words, guys and women, when you share with each other and you appreciate each other, give with your heart. Like really be generous with your words and genuine. And then as you're sitting there and hearing these words from your spouse, just look at them in the eyes. Don't roll your eyes. Don't be like, oh no, I'm not that great. Just listen and receive. Just receive what your spouse is telling you and listen and take it all in and let it bring life to you and to your marriage. All right, ladies, now it's your turn to look at your husband and appreciate him. Tell him all the things that you're grateful for, what you love about him, the things he's good at. Tell him all the things that you would have told him on your wedding day, but that he really needs to hear right now. And I'll be back in just a minute. Okay, guys, so I hope that this exercise really blessed you both as the giver and as the receiver. And one of the things that I think out of the whole experience that Tab and I had and continue to have, but really especially in those first years that we were practicing this, the thing that really I would say transformed, and that's really the word I would use, that really transformed our marriage, is that we started putting these practices, like for example, appreciating each other, into practice beyond just sitting across the table. And so I kind of implemented this homework that we had. And when that first night happened where we sat across from each other and we shared what we appreciated about each other, we made the pact that our homework would be every single day for the next 7 days, we were going to appreciate each other verbally throughout the entire day. I cannot even begin to tell you what amazing things transpired from that and how it has been a foundation in our relationship that has gotten us through other struggles in our marriage. And I truly believe it will be the same for you. And so your homework over the next 7 days is every single day, both of you, look for every way possible to be super intentional about verbally appreciating each other in specific ways. Be specific with what you're appreciating. Be specific about what you notice that they're doing. Express that gratitude for the next 7 days and beyond that. But practice it for 7 days, and I think it's actually going to become a habit. And I think you're going to be blown away at what you start to see happen in your relationship with each other. And I'd even go so far as to say what your children will notice as well if you have children living at home. And so your homework every day for the next 7 days is to appreciate each other. And I think you are going to be super blessed. So this concludes this segment of the video series that we're doing on marriage. And as we continue answering the question, how do we stay connected? We'll have other videos that come along, and we just hope that you'll tune in, and we hope that you'll be blessed.